lays it out there.
Ben wants to throw it down the field. There's a man open, running for the end zone. We've got a Steelers touchdown. He's going to run and throw it on the run for the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh!
Right here! Right here! Hard!
He wasn't trying to convince himself, and he didn't care whether we believed him or not.
I think we got a heck of a shot of winning. We beat anybody in the world, and I think we're going to win next Sunday.
It's one of the great quotes of all time in sports.
This guy in the back of the room just yells, you know, hey, name it, we're going to kick your behind. Hey, wait a minute now. It's my turn to talk. I got news for you. We're going to win the game, I guarantee you.
I love to fly. I love all forms of flying. I still get a big thrill out of it, and the sky is still my office. It always has been for the last 63 years, and I look forward to flying as soon as I can again. I had a wonderful and interesting career in the United States Air Force. I was a test pilot, I was a fighter pilot, I was a parachutist. We hadn't gone into space yet. The two objectives were, one, how to work in space, and two, how to provide a means of escape from high altitude. Our beginning goal was to jump from 100,000 feet. Excelsior, the purpose of that, we'd never gone into space. We knew that we'd have to get outside the spacecraft and work. No one had ever gone that high in a balloon. I was going to a new frontier. At 20,000 feet, I fell into the clouds. I'd never gone into clouds before. So I checked my altimeter 2 or 3 times to make doggone certain I knew where I was. I free fell for 4 minutes and 36 seconds.
Jaws Film Room is brought to you by Burger King and new crispy popcorn chicken. Limited time only at participating restaurants.
He comes up with new stuff every week. Whoa, 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 whoa! Omaha! Blue 90, blue 90! Omaha, Omaha, Omaha! Hey, 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 you! That! Opposite! You! Do this! Omaha! You know, he's always gonna have the Harry! Hurry, hurry! Whoa, whoa, chicken, chicken, chicken! Hot, hot, hot! Set!
They love him already, his teammates do, and so does the president of the team. That would be John Elway. Peyton Manning, John Elway on the field, getting set. Pretty good quarterbacks right there. We bring in our authority on quarterbacks, Jaws.
Come on into the film room. Tonight we get to watch the surgeon Peyton Manning at work. And watching the Broncos last week, their offense looked very similar to the Indianapolis Colts offense that Peyton Manning ran for so many years. I went back to 2006 and found some plays that look the same but are really different. Here's the slot formation to the right. Marvin Harrison, the top, probably caught about 500 balls out of this formation, but Peyton will always look deep first. Here is Brandon Stokely for the touchdown in 2006. Let's go back to last week against the Steelers. Same formation, but the Steelers are in press, bump, and run. So you're going to get a rub element. Manning read the coverage. He goes downfield with this throw. This was a play called at the line of scrimmage against press man-to-man. Eric Decker with the rub allows Jacob Tamme to get open down the sideline. Again, let's go back to 2006. Slot formation to the left. Peyton will always have one of these under routes available to him. He will always check deep, then come back underneath with the high percentage completion throw. Again, slot to the right. You'll see the under element to this passing game. Peyton will check the deep route. If it's not there, He always comes back to the underneath route. Now tonight, you're going to see a lot of gyrations at the line of scrimmage. You'll see the hand pointing, calling out the plays. But in Peyton Manning's mind, you're not going to see a lot of motion. He likes to operate against a static defense, so he is in control.
Back in Atlanta and joined by longtime NFL GM Bill Polian. 27 years in the league, Bill. 14 of them you spent with Peyton in Indianapolis. Now, you just spoke to him on the field a few minutes ago. Give us the goods, man. What did he say?
Well, we talked about the families. The kids are doing well. He's really happy with the situation he's got in Denver. And I asked about the receivers. He likes them both. He thinks Demaryius Thomas has a world of talent. I was kidding with Brandon Stokely, who, of course, was with us for a while, and he said he's the translator. He and Jacob Tammy are the guys that are explaining what goes on in the meeting room. And Peyton feels like they're coming along, but there is still work to do, and this is a tough test in this building with the noise in order to communicate.
And tough tests for Peyton all year long. Look, we know he's 36 years old. He's had 4 neck surgeries. Trent, how much better can Peyton get from where he is and his team right now to later on in the season?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm a little uncomfortable with that question because it's like asking the med student how much better can the surgeon get at his job. I mean, Peyton Manning is the best at what he does. In my time studying this game, I've never seen anybody with a better grasp of the game of offensive football. His decision-making is impeccable. I think the challenge for him and this Denver Broncos team is, can the rest of the team catch up? I mean, you're talking about some really hard stuff for them all to get the nuance of offensive football. Ultimately, they need to see the game through the same lens that he sees the game through, which is a monumental task at times, Steve.
And really, no one else is doing it. There's a couple of teams. Tom Brady tries to do this through Breeze. There's a couple of teams that have the quarterbacks are asking their receivers to do it. It's not just, most receivers are asked, look, read man, do this, read zone, do that. It's binary, not that hard. But for a lot of receivers, that is very difficult. For a lot of receivers, for Peyton Manning, it's zone, do this or this or this based on body position. When we talk about the nuance, it's like literally you have to run it 1,000 times so that you know that if his body position is just this way, I'll return my shoulder this way, and Peyton will put it in the back shoulder. And unless that happens, it's an incompletion because Peyton's not going to move around. He's not going to buy a ton of time. So you have to be on the same page at a nuancical level that people don't understand. We talk about it, but people don't realize the depth of that, and that takes some time.
And how quick you have to be on that same page, right? I mean, this is light flexive process.
Ball position is critical. He's always going to put the ball where the defender cannot get it. He's going to throw him open. So you have to recognize where the defender is.
Peyton Manning, though, does love this stage. 11-3 for his Monday Night Football career. The most famous of those in 2003 when the Colts became the first team ever to come back from a 21-point deficit with 4 minutes left, beating our now colleague John Gruden's Bucs in overtime. Said Gruden about Peyton's performance then, I'm not going to justify what occurred. We just got bombed in the 9th inning. Hey, Boom, how was that impersonation?
You're getting there, Stu. You're getting there. Just like those Broncos players impersonating Peyton. Well, Bucs, the current day Bucs, yesterday against the Giants after they were up. But then at the end of the game, Josh Freeman picked up by Michael Boley, and the Giants are going to win 41-34 after a kneel down with 1 second to go. But the Bucs charged forward, claiming they wanted to maybe force a fumble at the end of the game. Eli Manning went down okay. Coach is not necessarily okay. Tom Coughlin giving an earful to young Greg Schiano of the Bucs. Reactions today.
We've caused a fumble 4 times in the last 5 years with that play. And it's something that we practice. To me, it's a clean, hard, tough, finish the game play. Some people disagree with that. You know, it's certainly what makes the world go around. Everybody has opinions, but I don't have any remorse or regret. It's clean, hard football.
I said what I said, and I believe it to be accurate with regard to the number of years that I've been in this league, and I've said my piece about it.
Probably neither wanted to be the focus, neither coach, you know that. But now here we go, Chris. You heard today, we heard what was said last night after the game. Your thoughts now?
Well, it's, you know, playing in the league a long time, you see a lot of situations at the end of the game. And, Schiano, I understand he's trying to change the culture there in Tampa as the coach and what they're trying to accomplish. But He kind of lost me right there when he asked us, have we been following Rutgers? Like, hey, you guys haven't been following Rutgers? Like, you only got a couple guys in the league. So, no, we haven't been following Rutgers. But Rutgers have 85 scholarships, 100 guys dressing. An NFL roster, they only got 7 offensive linemen, 46 guys. So our rules and what we decide to do in the league at the end of the game, they are totally different, guys. So I don't agree with it. It is something that it's an understanding between the players. But I also, though, as a player, if I'm on the field, I'm going to protect myself at all times.
Well, I don't have any problem with it at all. I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to build an organization. I would only say one thing, and I coached, I played. Don't get mad, get even. But remember this, Greg Schiano has to remember one thing. What goes around comes around. So you can never, in other words, get defensive if it ever happens to you. I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to build a tough football team. Did it have any merit in this game? I don't know. But I'm not going to fault the man for doing what he did.
I think it's just another example of a first-time college head coach coming to the National Football League and really not understanding sort of kind of this unwritten rule to do certain things a certain way. You've seen him come in, whether it's been a Nick Saban or a guy that went to Louisville that was in Atlanta or whatever, just Petrino.
Steve Spurrier.
You've seen these things happen. This isn't Pete Carroll coming from a failed attempt in the NFL, college back to the NFL. And you see things happen where he just doesn't understand. I think it was wrong, period. It didn't make any sense. He shouldn't have did it. And when it happens to his players and his team, let's see what happens at that point in time, Tommy.
You know, I agree with you, but I think that he may understand it a little bit more than we give him credit for. I'm going to make a few points here. Number one, when Tom Coughlin spoke, he spoke about this level. He wasn't talking about Division 1A. He was talking about professional football. Number two, you likely put your own players at risk because other teams will respond by doing things to you that you do to them. And 8 days ago, and I had our crew pull the tape when you were kneeling down in the last 2 minutes of a football game against the Carolina Panthers 3 times. What was the etiquette that you expected from them? What did you expect that they were going to do when you lined up to do this? And you were only leading the game 16-10. So I'm listening very carefully when you say we finish every game. That game wasn't over.
No.
That game had 2 minutes left in it.
They called those
Why
plays.
were you not running plays? I mean, there's always two sides to every story. And I heard Tom Coughlin's story, and he was talking about this level, and I believe that Tom was right.
You know, Boom, they play on field turf. Field turf is very dangerous, much like grass or old AstroTurf back in the day. If your cleats get caught, and you saw Eli Manning take a stumble, right. if his cleat get caught in that turf and he twists a knee, twists an ankle, anything, now what are we saying? What are we saying?
We're saying is, if we're to predict, that we understand where Coach Schiano's coming from, certainly to change things with the Bucs, to have them play hard-nosed, but we're saying it won't happen again. I'd be shocked if you ever see that again. Wouldn't you? I could see that again.
I'd see it done to him.
Well,
well, if I was him, though, I would apologize to Tom Coughlin.
He may have.
I don't know if he has.
He may have.
But if he
I don't know that.
He should pick up the phone and apologize.
He may have. Well, let's go to Morton Adam here. What about the league? Any news from the league today on this?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about the unwritten rule, but the written rule is clear, and the league certainly absolved Greg Schiano and the Buccaneers of any wrongdoing on this.
And Mort, the Washington Redskins were hit today with a double whammy. They lost their Pro Bowl linebacker Brian Orakpo to a season-ending torn pectoral muscle injury. That's a blow to the Redskins pass rush. He will miss the remainder of the season. Difficult to replace those sacks, and it wasn't just Orakpo. They also lost Adam Carricker, their defensive end, out for the season. Torn quad injury, actually, on Carricker. He's gone. That's another blow to the Redskins defense.
And the Philadelphia Eagles, 2-0 with 2 narrow victories, have to go to Arizona this week with the status of Jeremy Maclin, wide receiver, much up in the air. He already had a hip pointer, and then he bruised his hip on top of that, and Andy Reid doesn't sound confident that he'll be able to go this week against the Cardinals. Wait and see on that. And then the St. Louis Rams, who certainly have gotten off to a nice start. Steven Jackson yesterday missed the final 3 quarters with that groin injury. They say he tweaked it. Daryl Richardson, a 7th-round pick from Abilene Christian, took his place, but right now they're hoping Jackson can go. this week.
And Mort, the Giants could be without Ahmad Bradshaw Thursday night against the Carolina Panthers. Strained neck injury. He underwent an MRI today. The feeling right now is that it is going to be difficult for Bradshaw to play on Thursday night, and he might not be the only Giant that the team will be without. Dominic Hickson missed practice today with a concussion. Not a good sign for the Giants. And David Deal, their starting right tackle, has a strained medial collateral ligament. His status for Thursday night also in question. The short week doesn't help. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Coming up on Monday Night Countdown, Peyton Manning on Coach Gruden's bus, why he chose Denver over other teams. No huddle offenses, what to watch for tonight when the pace quickens. And the story of Denver's mayor and his uncanny link to the Broncos.
Sunday Night Football tripleheader live on ESPN America. Conferences collide as the Bengals touch down in the capital to face RG3 and the Skins in their home opener. Then the AFC takes over as the Texans running game arrives at the Mile High City to battle Peyton and the Broncos. And we end with a red-hot rivalry as Brady leads his Pats into Baltimore to square up to the Ravens. It all starts at 1600 CET with Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
The 2011 Doak Walker Award winner and the third overall pick by the Cleveland Browns. Trent Richardson is all the buzz in Cleveland, Ohio. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing 224 pounds, Richardson is gifted with both speed and power. Finishing 28th in the run game last season, Trent should boost that number for the Browns. This year's top running back prospect will look to help a Browns team that has not won more than 5 games in the last 5 seasons.
The water for me is an incredible element. Being underneath the water is even more incredible than that. We live our lives either in the future or in the past, but when we're in the water, there's only that moment. Freediving is a sport where you hold your breath and try and go as deep as possible. I specialize in constant weight no fins, which is purely your body and the water. So you only use your hands and feet to swim down and swim back up to the surface. Growing up in New Zealand, we lived on a sailboat, so our family pretty much sold everything to buy a boat and to sail across the seas and do a lot of exercises which increase the flexibility of the lungs and the rib cage that house the lungs, and the diaphragm underneath the rib cage, which we also use for breathing. As negative buoyancy starts to take hold of my body and I enter into the free fall, I give myself the command to shut down all thoughts, all muscular contraction. Everything shuts down to the point where I'm just a speck of consciousness sinking into the abyss.
You are watching Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's.
Welcome back to Monday Night Countdown, everybody. About 40 minutes now to the Broncos at the Falcons. And we welcome in Rick Riley, who will contribute to Monday Night Countdown each week with his unique stories. And this week, no exception. We love you on the program. Good evening, my friend.
Thank you, Boom. We're in Atlanta versus Denver. Of course, now the Broncos have more certifiably nuts fans than Atlanta has pecans. From John Elway to Peyton Manning, they know just about everything about their team. But there's one little odd fact that almost nobody knows.
Do you recognize this man?
No. Warren Moon, maybe? That's Hancock.
Warren Moon. It's not Warren Moon, it's the mayor, Michael Hancock.
Hancock.
Do you recognize that person?
Yeah.
Who is it?
I know it's the Broncos.
Bronco mascot from the 80s.
Horse for the Broncos.
That's Huddles.
Huddles.
It's the same person.
Same guy?
Your mayor was the mascot.
No way.
Yes.
Not Hancock.
Hancock was Huddles.
Does he put that out there in public to say that?
He does.
Dude, I used to be the mascot for the Broncos, and now I'm mayor.
Wow, let's see here. Yeah, that's me right there. And of course, Dennis Smith. See how he ripped my arm off. I'm telling you, man, these dudes hurt.
It's true. In the Broncos Super Bowl season of 1986, 17-year-old high schooler Michael Hancock made $25 an hour playing Huddles, a now extinct Broncos mascot.
That uniform was heavy, man. It weighed more than I did at the time. I probably weighed 120 pounds. That thing was at least 150. I kid you, I couldn't lift it up any further than that.
Hancock is now Denver's mayor, but back then he was just part of a Broncos youth group. That's when a team executive approached him with an interesting question.
Why don't you be Huddles? I was like, who's Huddles? He says, our mascot. I'm like, what do you mean be Huddles? He says, it pays and everything. All I heard was it pays. And I said, okay, I'll do it. They didn't tell me that Huddles had been knocked out by a snowball one day. They didn't tell me that, you know, he was set on fire in the stands one day. They just put me in uniform and sent me out on the field.
Hancock needed the money. He was the youngest of 10 kids born to a Denver nurse who was raising them alone. The family would shuttle from motel to motel. One day, Michael asked his mom a hard question.
Were we homeless? And at that time, we were.
I think back on some Christmases where there was not one, literally one gift under the tree, not one. And we would wake up and it just never registered with me that we were poor, we couldn't afford gifts.
What are the odds a kid from that situation would become mayor of one of the biggest cities in the nation?
1 out of a million, I would say.
Of course, there may be days now when he wishes he had his old job back.
Well, today I started my day getting a briefing on collective bargaining. We were working on a new contract with the police. Met with 42 mayors from throughout the region today to talk about regional issues and just schedule. It's all day long, man.
Really?
Yeah, every day is a good 12, 13 hours.
Which do you think's more impressive, being the mayor or the mascot?
The mascot.
Yeah, the mascot.
Why?
Because it's funner.
So when we said, it's the same guy out on the street, and they said, oh, and I said, which job is better in your mind? And they all said mascot.
The mascot, yeah. No, I wouldn't want that job, no.
As mayor, you have to straddle the 50-yard line and handle political footballs. But there's one question even the mayor can't dodge.
Well, do you have an official proclamation or opinion on Tebow versus Manning?
Listen, let me just say this. We stand a chance of scoring on the first drive now, so let's just leave it at that.
Okay. So, Mayor Hancock was on the team plane yesterday with the Broncos here coming down to Atlanta. John Elway was on the plane. I asked Elway, did he remember Huddles and Mayor Hancock way back in '86 when they went to the Super Bowl together? He said, no, I'm sorry, I don't remember meeting him back then. But Elway would say that. He's a Republican.
Rick, thanks. The mayor is in office, if I'm not mistaken, in Denver till 2015. So if Denver wins a Super Bowl in these next few years, so he goes to the parade, right? But is he the mayor or is he Huddles? Which way does he go?
I think he'd rather be Huddles. You get a lot less hate mail, he says.
Thank you very much. Now that's an interesting story. His honor, Huddles. Thanks, Rick. Coming up, conversations with both quarterbacks. Find out why Peyton Manning chose Denver over the other teams. Plus,
come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Baseball tells the story of incredible plays. April 12, 2009, Reed Johnson robs Prince Fielder of a grand slam.
There's a high drive, deep right field. Back is Johnson. He makes a spectacular catch.
Be there for the moments you won't forget. MLB, live on ESPN America.
It's nice to get there and to play in that atmosphere because it's the every play there was a lot of stress. Every play there was a lot of expectation. Every play made a big impact on the outcome of the game. So to play there, to be there, to experience it. So if I do get back there again, I'll have a more calm sense about myself and I can play at a higher level.
Basketball isn't just my favorite sport. It's my passion. And I want to take my game
to the next level. That's what it's about. The better I am as a coach, the better they are on and off the court.
And as players, they deserve a chance to learn as much as possible from the game. As a parent, that's what's important to me.
Basketball is your game. iHoops is your game elevated. Elevate at ihoops.com.
Winning is not a sometime thing, it's an all-the-time thing. You don't win once in a while, and you don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit.
Vinny could go from here up to blind rage in 10 seconds and then back down. There was nothing in between. And once when we were doing a piece about the dressing room and the lights went out, he screamed at us to get out. And he realized that our electrician with his power pack light was providing the only light in the dressing room. And he suddenly smiled and invited us to drinks.
There's no room for second place. There's only one place, and that's first place. I finished second twice in my time, and I don't ever want to finish second again.
Baseball tells the story of an incredible fresh start. March 30th, 2008, opening night at the brand new Nationals Park ends in dramatic fashion.
Belted, deep left center. The ball game is over. Ryan Zimmerman has delivered the happy ending for the Nationals.
Be there for the moments you won't forget. Major League Baseball all season on ESPN America.
The team discarded.
We're here to announce the conclusion of Peyton's playing career with the Colts.
Nothing lasts forever.
Knowing only one way of life, the gears slowly start to move.
He's got a lot of great football left in him.
I'm very excited to begin the next chapter of my playing career for the Denver Broncos.
Rusty, yes, but the motions are familiar and refreshing.
Hurry, hurry!
Returning as that driving force, but this time in new colors.
Manning snap, roll left, Manning throws, pass gonna be caught, Denver touchdown.
Tonight, the gears continue to spin. Broncos, Falcons on Monday Night Football.
The Broncos and the Falcons have played only 13 times heading into tonight. 12 regular season games, and the most memorable meeting, of course, is Super Bowl 33. Broncos' 34-19 victory that night in Miami was the final game of John Elway's career. Elway retired from football the following spring at the age of 38. Tonight, as the Falcons and Broncos get set for what should be a memorable regular season showdown, it's a 36-year-old quarterback in the spotlight. With more, we send it to the guys calling the game, which... calling the game, believe me, is a lot harder than it looks. Mike Tirico and John Gruden. Fellas?
It was fun to have you guys on the other game, Chris, last week. Good to be with you guys again. Well, John, we talk about the quarterback so often. We're going to hear more of your Peyton Manning on the bus conversation in a few minutes, but I want to spend some time on the other quarterback. And Matt Ryan doesn't take a back seat often. 5th year in the league, 3rd overall pick. He's not looked like a rookie very often early on in his NFL career. You think great things are ahead for him?
He reminds me of a young Peyton Manning. I mean, he can make all the throws. He's proven that. His work ethic, his dedication, his leadership, all these intangibles are much like Peyton Manning. And he's already had 4 really good seasons. So I absolutely see greatness ahead for him.
Now, you've shown us this week some of that aptitude where you need it in the league now at the line of scrimmage that Ryan brings to the table.
Oh, this is what I like the most. You know, he's going to use a dummy snap count. He sees a 6-man box. He knows the inside trap is a great play against Kansas City, and he's going to hand the ball to Jaquiz Rodgers. He also sees that linebacker has nose trouble. He's a little too aggressive, so he and Dirk Cutter on the sideline said, hey, next time go to the trap pass. So he recognizes the same front. There's that nose troubles linebacker. You can't get Tony Gonzalez this wide open. But what Ryan is doing above the neck, audibling, keeping the Falcons in optimum play selection, It's really exciting, much like Peyton Manning.
We'll see both of them going head-to-head in that tonight. Now, we talk probably too much about the quarterbacks because the difference in winning very often are the other guys, the blue-collar ones, and we're going to tab them the Gruden Grinders on Monday night and give us a guy to keep an eye out for on your radar who could be a difference maker tonight.
The Gruden Grinders, this has me fired up. I want to look at Jacquizz Rodgers, a 5'6" running back of the Atlanta Falcons. When you're a backup running back, you better play special teams, and you better come into the game and catch it and pick up a blitz. And that's just what this kid did last week. He's going to pick up Derek Johnson, a Pro Bowl. Look at that grinder. A Pro Bowl linebacker blitzing at the top of the screen. Watch this 5'6" back. Pick that blitz up. Touchdown, Falcons. And then later in the game, an A-gap blitz. This is hard to do for any back. He stuffs this blitz. And Matt Ryan has a clean pocket. First down, Falcons. And you got that right. You better help on special teams. And Jacquizz Rodgers took this kickoff back 77 yards, set the stage for another Falcons score. This is a Gruden Grinder. I'm going to get you a T-shirt, a hat. I might get you a bandana to wipe your sweat off your face. These Gruden Grinders, this Jacquizz Rodgers, watch out for him tonight.
You get the hashtag social media with this. This will be fun. Can you make the face? No, don't make the face. Peyton Manning, you know his story. He's been grinding just to get back on the field. All the rehab, and we saw it last week. Earlier in Countdown, he talked about the past, now where he is and where he's going. Here's Peyton with John on the Corona Extra Bus.
John Elway and Peyton Manning teaming up. At the end of the day, why is it John Elway and the Denver Broncos that got Peyton Manning?
Yeah, I think he tried to make it the right decision after the fact. You know, nobody can say whether it's the right decision or not. As soon as right after that press conference, about 30 minutes later, I was lifting weights, grabbed a playbook, and was on my way working and trying to get acclimated to a new surroundings.
But I nickname you the Sheriff because you're relentless, man. Every single snap. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you're doing it. But every single snap, you look mad at the world. There's a crisis going on. It's a research project. Every snap, and I saw the same thing the other night. What is it, just relentless Manning or what? Why are you like this?
Well,
no one's like this.
I guess I've never tried to abuse that freedom. I take it very seriously. Then when a coach says, hey, if you see something you want to call it. That, you know, putting that time in and, you know, thinking of what a good play is and getting everybody on the same page, I mean, it's serious business.
You know, I'm watching all these no-huddle teams, college football, they don't even huddle anymore. I mean, it's fast break, up and down football. NFL teams, Matt Ryan, all these teams are going no-huddle. And you're really responsible. You're responsible for a lot of this, don't you think?
I couldn't say that. I personally don't think it matters whether you huddle, whether you draw them up in the dirt, whether you don't huddle. If you got players that can play, you can move the ball and score points.
What happens to you on game day, man? You come out, you just come out, you're like a Terminator or something. Are you ticked off?
Like a what? Like a what?
Like a Terminator, like Schwarzenegger in that movie, like he's gonna blow up the world or something, man. But are you mad? Are you fired up? Are you calm? What are you on game day?
I think I'm ready to go. I'm pumped up. I put a lot of time into getting ready for that week, and you know the games you only got 16 of them. You try to enjoy them, and but you know there's tough work to do.
Just the play action pass, the way the back rolls over the ball, the extension, the way you look it in. Why are you so particular about the details? Why can't you just let it go a little bit?
Well, I think you try to get an edge somewhere. I mean, you look at Elway, I mean, his Marino, those guys' arms were, like I said, rare breeds. Some guys, had better feet, better physical skills. So I don't know. I mean, I've always, just worked hard at the cerebral part of it and worked hard at the little small things. Nobody knows more about the scope of football, John, than you. All the film study you've put into the colleges and the NFL, and I feel privileged to have sat in the room of the FFCA. Right. I have my T-shirt and my visor.
Since you buried me and we were down, we had a 21-point lead with 4 minutes left. I got you the FFCA tassel hat for you to wear in Denver. Perfect. And I hope you freeze your butt off now that you're playing outside, no longer in that comfortable dome stadium. Shame on you for getting me fired and sending me into this new profession.
I've received a lot of prestigious gifts and awards in my life, nothing quite like this.
That's good stuff. We covered a lot of stuff there, Coach. And Peyton, thank you very much. Tommy, it certainly sounds like, fellas, it certainly looks like,
Peyton his old self? I mean, he played for a year.
He is. It is about the way he works. It's about the very thing they were talking about, the time that he puts into it. The guy shows up, even for that interview, in a nice, crisp suit. Does he have to? No, but it's the right way you handle yourself. And his teammates pick up on that. The thing is, he's Peyton Manning. I'm waiting to watch the supporting cast because he makes everybody around him better. How much better will they be in this second week of the regular season?
He's back to being Peyton Manning. And I know the Indianapolis Colts, and I don't want to harp on this, they misjudged the situation, okay? They misjudged it. And that's okay because they had to move on. And I think Peyton Manning, much like you say, he'll make the players around him better. He'll make them better because he's like Magic Johnson was in basketball. Make the guys around him better. I mean, those players right now, when you think about the tight ends, Jacob Tamme, just a tight end. But he'll be something at the end of the day that everybody will go, wow.
Well, if the Peyton Manning mentality permeates this football team, it's going to be a great football team. I mean, because they prepare, they work, and that's what he does. He's relentless in what he does. He's a perfectionist, guys. That's what he is.
I don't think there's one player that changes the culture of an organization more than Peyton Manning.
That's right.
If you take any of the top players in the league, and we're very, very fortunate that he's a legend. I mean, he really is. There's very few legends playing in the NFL today. And to me, to see the smile on his face, to see how happy inside he is. To me, it's not a matter, is he 90%? Is he 100%? I'm glad Peyton Manning's back because football's going to be better. The National Football League is going to be better. And the Denver Broncos, they realize that they got an opportunity to win a Super Bowl as long as he's their quarterback.
Well, just look at the big picture, Chris. I mean, he's a guy that played 227 straight games in the NFL. I'm not even talking about Tennessee and in the backyard before that. And then for 18 months, no football. And we know how much he loves football, as much or more than anybody around. So just to be out there, and I remember we talked about it, took that hit in the first preseason game, and he bounced up, and the crowd gave him a big ovation, and he knew himself, it's okay. It's okay. I'm playing football again. I don't want to boil everything else down to that, but he still loves every minute detail and everything. You got a veteran coach. You got John Elway. You got a rabid fan base. You got the mayor who has huddles. I mean, just think about what's going on out there. You know, Tom, better than anybody.
It's great. It's the best. It's the best.
So you went straight from a press conference to playbook and workout. Now, how many players are going to
Can't make that up.
Can't make that up.
We know where
at
you were
all.
going, Key, after you got that money.
Well, I got back on the plane and went home, man. What you talking about?
Headed to the club.
I knew going to 2 hours was dangerous on this show. Time to reveal the results of our question. Who will have a better game tonight, Peyton Manning or Matt Ryan? Of course, they both have a good game, but here it is. It is election year, so I mean, you got to really look at this. Peyton Manning over 61%, Matt Ryan 38%.
Matt Ryan gonna throw it around.
So there you have it. For more on Matty Ice, back down to Georgia and Lisa Salters. Lisa?
Hey, Boomer. Well, as you know, Peyton Manning won't be the only quarterback out here on the field tonight who will be running the no-huddle offense. Matt Ryan has been running the no-huddle since the second game of his rookie season. And, in fact, he told me that when he first got into the league, he actually sought out Peyton Manning for advice. And though Manning didn't want to give away too many secrets, he had this to offer up to Matt Ryan. He said, you have to understand what you're doing, and you've got to get yourself prepared.
When you first came into the league, you said that Peyton Manning was one of your favorite quarterbacks to watch. Still feel that way?
Yeah, he still is. You know, as an NFL quarterback now, you don't have as much of an opportunity to watch as many games on TV as I did when I was younger. But when you do, you know, get the chance, you're watching one of the legends of the NFL live. And he's a great person, great leader, great player, and still, you know, I'm still a fan of his.
So what have you learned watching him master the no-huddle?
A ton. He's so well prepared when he comes into games, and I think that's evident when he's at the line of scrimmage and adjusting to what defenses are doing against him. He does a great job of disguising what they're doing with the, you know, the words and the hand motions, all those kind of things. It's impressive to watch.
I'm sure you know the numbers, 44-19 as a starter, but what I'm sure you think about is 0-3 in the playoffs.
You know, I understand in this league and at this position, quarterbacks are judged by what you do in the postseason. But at this time of the year, it's not something I worry about. It's hard enough to win week to week in this league. And my mindset, you know, is very narrow. It's, you know, constantly trying to focus on one game at a time. and it's the only way I know how to do it. And if we have the opportunity at the end of 16 of those week-to-week matchups, then hopefully we can change that.
Now tonight will be the first time that Matt Ryan and Peyton Manning actually face each other on the field, and I asked Matt Ryan if there was any added pressure going up against another quarterback that he admires so much, and he says absolutely not at all. He says, I've been in this league long enough to know that it's our team versus his team. I know what I have to do for my team to win the game. I can't really be worried about what Peyton Manning is doing. Now for more on Matt Ryan and the no-huddle offense, let's send it back over to Stuart Scott. Stu?
Thanks a lot, Lisa. You know, earlier this week, Matt Ryan conceded that there's nobody on the planet better at running the no-huddle offense than his opponent tonight, Peyton Manning. Steve, Matty's either being honest, modest, respectful, or all three, but shine the light on Matt Ryan. What do you like about the way that he operates the no-huddle?
Well, I think he's learning from Peyton Manning, the master of the intimate competitive relationship between offense and defense. And in the league, there are, rules of engagement and timing that everyone kind of expects a huddle every 17 seconds, how you engage. And what Matt Ryan's learning from Peyton Manning is, I'm going to use the no-huddle to put defenses in a bind. I'm going to abuse the relationship between offense and defense. I'm going to take the time. I'm going to wait, hold up a couple extra seconds, put them on an island. They try to put people on and off the field. I'm going to speed up. Then I'll slow down. I'll speed up. And in that way, he continues to put pressure on defenses, which to me is very much like Peyton Manning.
Well, if you look at Peyton Manning and Matt Ryan, their physical and mental traits, the no-huddle fits both of them perfectly. They're both very tactical, cerebral players. Neither of them can overpower a defense with their physical traits. They're not guys that are going to go out and just beat you with the ball all night long with power. They're not going to play the second, third reaction game where they buy space and create out of the pocket. So they're going to win the majority of their plays at the line of scrimmage. So Peyton kind of developed the blueprint for this type of football, and Matt Ryan's really the next guy that can come in and be the same type of player. Bill, would you agree?
Well, I agree. I think something to look at tactically tonight relative to what you said, Steve, is the speed. Mike Nolan has played with the clock when he's played the Colts previously. He's made a move between 11 and 9 seconds on the play clock with the secondary. So Peyton gets a bad read or a quick read and has to go quickly to a new play. With a new group, with communication being as difficult as it is here, keep an eye on what Mike Nolan does on clock adjustments with the defense.
Oh, you mean defenses can actually do it back to you?
Yes, they can.
Bill, that's illegal.
No, it's
we
legal.
Can't have that.
It's legal.
I can listen to these three guys talk scheme and quarterbacking for hours. Hey, don't forget this about Peyton Manning. He is just ruthlessly efficient. Last week, he lit up the Steelers for 2 touchdown passes and no interceptions. They're not mind-boggling numbers, but they define QB effectiveness. For his career, playoffs included, 56 times Peyton Manning has thrown at least 2 touchdowns with no interceptions. Still ahead on Monday Night Countdown, our Field Pass segment. The last little bits of information that you have to know before you watch the game. Also, what bananas thing happened that makes no sense and makes you want to go, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Ready to start it up?
Let's go.
Unnecessary roughness on number 52. Excuse me a minute.
Come on, man. This is Andy in the pass, punt, and kick. 13-year-old. Whoa, come on, man.
First down, Dallas.
I got it, but wait there. Who has it? Yeah, he went that away. Come on.
This is supposed to be the post-game press conference.
It's empty.
A monkey riding a dog.
Come on, man.
Steve Johnson wears an undershirt to the press. Come on, man. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Thursday Night Baseball, live on ESPN America. The fight for the postseason is on. The A's can still clinch a spot in October, but Verlander and the Tigers are hot on their heels for that final postseason position. A's at Tigers, Thursday at 2000 CET, live on ESPN America.
Come on, boys. We got to put it in now. Let's go.
Ben has time.
Throws it for the end zone. Mike Wallace. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. How about that? Beautiful timing.
Ben just lays it out there.
Ben wants to throw it down the field. There's a man open, running for the end zone.
We've got a Steelers touchdown.
He's going to run and throw it on the run for the end zone.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Right here.
2011 was an outstanding year for Maurice Jones-Drew. MJD led the NFL in rushing yards and accounted for 48% of the Jaguars' offense. Pocket Hercules' 1,606 rushing yards was a franchise record. MJD was the only bright spot in the Jaguars' 5-11 season. With second-year starter Blaine Gabbert under center, look for big things out of Maurice Jones-Drew and the Jaguars in 2012.
Celebration begins.
He hit it again. It's absolutely astonishing.
I born in New Jersey, in Patterson, but I went to Puerto Rico a year old. But I have family there and New York and New Jersey. I had a lot of struggle. I was up and down. When in 07 I went to AA. I was almost out of the game, but I always work hard. I know it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna continue to work hard. And this guy, we won the World Series in 2010. That was a bless.
For the first time since 1954, the Giants are world champions.
Right now, this year, I'm excited to be here in New York. My dad is a big Mets fan, always been, and I'm excited just to play with them and show my dad that, he's gonna be proud of me. And I think that's something special.
Welcome back to Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's.
Time for the Dunkin' Donuts Field Pass. You're legally bound to listen because you just might hear the key to the game. Steve Young, we start with you. Player to player, QB to QB. What's the most important thing Peyton Manning can do tonight?
All right, just for you, Stu. Last week against the Steelers, everybody realized, oh my gosh, he really is back. Now today he goes on the road, and the whole the Bronco Nation is really saying, can he stand up on the road in a big game against a tough defense, take the knocks and the noise, and can our Broncos really look like he can set a perception for the rest of the year right here.
All right, Trent Dilfer, Matt Ryan is really, really, really good. But what can he do to get to Peyton Manning's really, really great status?
Guys, when you study the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks in this league and in the past, there comes about 6, 7, 8 plays a game, especially the big light games, where they play above the X's and O's. It goes beyond what the playbook says, whether you throw a guy open, whether you buy space, whether you man up and just drop a dime in there that nobody else can do it. That's what Matt Ryan has to do under the big lights.
Quintorris Lopez Jones, also known as Julio Jones, Roland Champ Bailey. What a great matchup. Both of these guys playing close to home. Julio Jones, great draft pick from the University of Alabama. 10 touchdowns, Tommy, since week number 9, 2011, third in NFL. Champ Bailey, one of the all-time greats.
CC, this is another huge matchup in this game with DB versus wide receiver. Demaryius Thomas, 6'3", 230 pounds against a 5'10", 185 Asante Samuel, which is known as a guesser. Peyton Manning knows this. Watch early and often double moves by Thomas.
Well, I like Roddy White. He's a great big receiver with good speed and good hands. I'll tell you what, right now he's getting a lot of man-to-man coverage because they're paying a lot of attention to Jones and Gonzalez. Watch them to have a big night.
Coach, Von Miller is one of the best guys to come off the edge in the NFL already, only getting better. Missed some games last year, but in 16 career games, a regular season schedule, he has 13 and a half sacks already. Tremendously quick, strong, fast, and motivated when it comes to getting to the quarterback.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a good one. Tom, I just wonder why, when you were with the Broncos, why you didn't wear those glasses like Vaughn? I mean, you played a lot.
Yeah, and they could be a little bit more stylish.
I'm
going to tell Vaughn that.
Leave that man glasses alone.
No, but it's not a come-on, man. No. But week 2, man, the last weekend of the summer,
refs had a bad deal this week. Cowboys versus the Seahawks. Check out the hit on Sean Lee. He takes on Russell Wilson's scramble. Look at that. Is a penalty called on this play. Bang! Keep your head on a swivel, son. But the referee calls it on the wrong play. Just a nice little push out of bounds. They had a bad deal. Should have been on this play right here, not that one. Do something right. Get back in there and study. Come on, man.
Replacement officials, check it out. Now, this is what the NFL is going to do if they have to replace the players. The lingerie bowl guys, check it out. Nikki Johnson scrambling around. Look at her. She looking for somebody to run over. She finds somebody. Devon Burton in the end zone. Let's take a couple more looks. Come on, man.
Now, you wonder why we're even showing you this play. Looks downfield. Doesn't look like it's to be a part of this segment, but go back behind the line of scrimmage. This may be the ultimate in a come on, man, for our segment. Instant replay right there. Come on, man.
Well, the Redskins complete a pass, get field goal range, but Josh Morgan, watch what happens here. He loses his cool to Finnegan, hits him with the ball. Personal foul on Morgan. The Redskins can't believe the Redskins would miss the field goal that would have tied the game or won to get, they lose by 3 points. Come on, man.
Well, listen, this is big college football. Brigham Young down 3 to arch rival Utah. Utah's pulled the upset. It's over, but wait a minute. Here they come. Out of the step and Brigham Young said, wait, get out of here. We got a second, and we're going to try a 51-yard field goal. It's blocked, and you'll never guess what happens. Here they come. They won it. They're running you. But wait a minute, but wait, there's more.
While the play was still alive, the crowd rushed the field. That's a live ball 15-yard penalty from the 34. One on-time down at the 19.
Wow! So they clear the field, 15 yards. It's a 36-yarder. And it is doink! You'll never guess what happened. There they come. Those are the most tired fans I've ever seen. They're exhausted. Come on, man. That's unbelievable.
That's great.
That's a lot of running.
That was great.
We ought to ask Steve Young, what were they doing?
Well, Steve, Brigham Young, come on, man. We'll be back with our picks. We'll pick the game. Stay with us.
There's nothing like playing on Monday night.
Monday Night Football is pretty special because it's the only game that night.
When everybody's excited about Monday Night Football.
Playing on Monday Night Football is like a dream come true.
When I was a little kid, I used to always watch Monday Night Football with my dad.
As a kid, that Monday night, you always look forward to seeing who's playing.
Gonna get to the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. Roddy White, a marvelous grab.
Oh, I imagine our fans are going to be wild.
It's exciting to be on prime time. Everyone is watching you.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
It is the game to be tuned into.
Come On Man is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Thursday Night Baseball, live on ESPN America. The fight for the postseason is on. The A's can still clinch a spot in October, but Verlander and the Tigers are hot on their heels for that final postseason position. A's at Tigers, Thursday at 2000 CET, live on ESPN America.
2011 was an outstanding year for Moreeeee Jones-Drew. MJD led the NFL in rushing yards and accounted for 48% of the Jaguars' offense. Pocket Hercules' 1,606 rushing yards was a franchise record. MJD was the only bright spot in the Jaguars' 5-11 season. With second-year starter Blaine Gabbert under center, look for big things out of Moreeeee Jones-Drew and the Jaguars in 2012. Ray Rice, the Ravens' all-everything back and go-to player on offense, runs with a chip on his shoulder. Since entering the NFL in 2008, only 2 other running backs have more yards from scrimmage. Coming off his 3rd consecutive 1,200-yard season, Rice does not show any signs of slowing down. In 2012, look for Ray Rice to continue to solidify himself as one of the top running backs in the NFL.
Celebration begins. It's absolutely astonishing.
I born in New Jersey, Patterson, but I went to Puerto Rico a year old. But I have family there and New York and New Jersey. I had a lot of struggle. I was up and down. When 07 I went to AA. I was almost out of the game, but I always work hard. I know it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna continue to work hard. And thanks God, we won the World Series in 010. That was a bless.
For the first time since 1954, the Giants are world champions.
Right now, this year, I'm excited to be here in New York. My dad is a big Mets fan, always been, and I'm excited just to play with them and show my dad that, he's gonna be proud of me. And I think that's something special.
Monday Night Countdown is served by Applebee's. Try the new Southwest Flavors 2 for $20 menu all season long. See you tomorrow. And in part by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a 2013 GMC vehicle at gmc.com/NFL. And Best Buy.
Well, we only began last week. Everybody on the Ravens except the coach, but we get a long season, still summer. Let's start down on site. Trent, who do you like tonight?
Well, I guess we're not going to talk about last year's results, but all the data this year suggests Falcons tonight. But there's one number I can't get by. It's number 18. Because number 18, the Broncos win.
That's hard to argue against, Trent, but I got to tell you, this Atlanta Falcon team truly, fiercely believes that they're going the distance this year. I think they take another step tonight to go 2-0.
I got a lot of respect for Matty Ice, Julio Jones, Roddy White. But as student coach Mike Tomlin said last week after getting clocked by the Broncos, 2 words, he's Peyton. He's Peyton. I go Broncos. Coach?
Well, guys, I'm going to take the Falcons for one reason. They're trying to take the next step. Tonight would be a good start.
And I will take the Falcons because Tom is probably going to take the Broncos.
Probably.
I believe Denver's a better football team. This is going to be a battle tonight. I'm going with the Broncos, Tommy.
Boom, stop it. Everybody knows who I'm picking.
We can just get your rest of your comments.
Bleeding Denver orange.
Huddles.
Nice
Broncos.
quick pick.
Kudos to Atlanta, especially at home. They're a good team. They can go places. But Peyton's like a kid at Christmas, isn't he? I got new toys. Denver 27, Atlanta 24. Thanks for watching, everybody. Monday Night Countdown. See you back here at halftime with Morton Adam. Enjoy the first half, everybody, from a fired-up Atlanta.
Dude, almost not.